Yeah, just really pleased with the overall intensity and physicality that we played on the defensive end. I thought we were a connected group. They put you in a lot of compromising situations, especially with the way some of those guys can shoot the basketball. We knew that they were going to be, or they have been all season long, a little bit short on the bench. So being able to play ours and develop ours throughout the year, I thought was a big part in this. TJ Beal coming in and playing and giving us the energy and the spark that he did. And obviously when you have guys like Rob and Teddy that can carry a big load, they were fantastic tonight in controlling tempo and making sure our team was in position to close the game, which we were able to do because it's not an easy game or an easy style to go up against. So really proud of our guys' toughness, grit, perseverance, and toughness.
Question. Little Rock notorious for one of the better defenses in the country. So how did you guys? What was your approach going towards that defense?
You know, I thought it bottled us up a couple times, a couple possessions. They really did a fantastic job at our place. And then we were able to answer the bell a little bit at their place. So I wasn't quite sure which way it was going to go today because they come at different spots at different times. And you have to have really high IQ. You have to be tough with the basketball. So we didn't really combat that in any kind of way because there's not a whole lot of sets and actions that you can run because, again, you don't know where the double team may come from or at what time. And so I thought our guards did a really, really nice job of controlling that tempo and recognizing it and making the extra pass. And times that we didn't, we got a little bit stuck when the ball went to the corner. But overall, I thought our guards just really controlled tempo. We didn't do much. We just got out of the way.
Rob, you obviously had dropped a career-high 31 against SIU in the regular season. Then the game that commenced the regular season title. You stepped up again tonight. Talk about just being able to thrive in these high-pressure games when the lights are brightest.
It just starts with the reps in practice, believing in myself, trusting in my work in the summer, coach trusting in me, my teammates trusting in me, and just make the plays. I feel like if I make a mistake, it's next play mentality, and I feel like I'm built for these moments, and that was a huge W.
That's for the coach. You know, you guys had the crowd, the great steals, great plays, but can you elaborate on the support SEMO got this season?
Yeah, that's a great question because it's been something I heard a lot about when I came in 2020. Just the history and the fan base. It's really known for high school basketball as well. The region in Cape Girardeau and the surrounding towns, they love their basketball. And so to be able to see that kind of show out the last game of the season at home, we had 4,000 fans. I believe we led the league maybe in attendance this year, if I'm not mistaken. And then to come out, when I walked out of the tunnel today for that game and you just hear the fans, it was very, very impactful. And it feels good to make a lot of people, there's a lot of people in our area, in our town that have a lot of pride and SEMO men's basketball does a lot for their families outside of just wins and losses. And so to be able to bring back that excitement, and I've gotten a lot of text messages about how proud they are of the way that these guys play. That brings great joy to your heart because that's a lot of what you're working for, and they're not, you know, of course, wins and losses are a byproduct of all that. But just to have a lot of people proud of their program and their team, and it's the way that these guys play. It's guys like Troy Cole that, you know, it's been stat sheet wise up and down, has 17 tonight, plays a fantastic game. So it's just a true team, and I think the community really has embraced the way that we play, and they can identify with that.
It's for both the players. You know, things getting chippy tonight. You know, you guys playing in a tough game to start, but then able to pull away. What was the mental battle that you guys had to win against Little Rock tonight?
Just staying connected. Our coach always told us that even when we go through adversity and fighting, we just got to stay together. And so that's what we do. Even in practice, we stay together, even though things going downhill. Like his group, Rob group, was killing us in practice all week. And then we just got to stay together. So that's what, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing, just staying together, being smart, staying connected. And I feel like we did that. They was talking a little bit trash, but we got a bigger game, and that's tomorrow. So just getting the guys together, being that leader, and yeah.
We weren't innocent either.
Relax.
It's just good competition, though.
Yeah.
Those guys are just competing.
Facts.
Coach Korn, it's been a trend all year. You guys are really good at defending the three-point shot. Last night, Little Rock was dominating three. I think they were 11-22. Tonight, 2-12. Kind of sort of talk about being able to, again, defend the three well and just make them more one-dimensional.
Yeah, I thought that, and I told the guys in the locker room just now that it doesn't, you know, show up in the stat sheet, but I thought B.J. Ward and Teddy Washington did a great job of defending and not getting easy looks. There were some shots that they could have gone in, but I think the totality of the way that we played all around and we were flying around. There was one play in particular, Teddy dropped down off of Lawson into the post, and Lawson was open there for a half second. Rob had the awareness, and he came over right away. And it is something that we practice. But again, there's practice, and then there's doing it in the game when the game's on the line, and Rob did that. So again, some of the habits, as these guys have talked about in practice, are carrying over to the game, and then it just becomes second nature. And so again, I think that was a big key. And then when you, like Troy said, when you're a connected group, it's a lot easier for you to play when you know that the guy next to you is going to have your back regardless of what happens. And he's going to give max effort just because you are as well. So to me, it was more so it's just these guys and what they've done, all season long. So it's been a long haul. We're well over 100 practices, 30 some odd games. So it's these guys trusting in their work, and they trust one another.
Mike Harley, Arkansas Democrat, is that for coach. 18 turnovers on the day, forced 11 in the first half. And you guys really took control of the game there late in that first half. So can you just talk about that sequence, kind of the last 8-9 minutes of the first half, how you were able to take control?
Yeah, I think, again, it was defensively. I don't know. I got it right here. Rebounding. Yeah, we ended up winning the rebounding battle by 2. So that was a huge focus coming in, was to rebound the basketball. We thought if we rebounded, we could get in transition. Now they're not able to set, the press and the traps and everything else that they do. So the turnovers, though, I think, again, going back to the connectivity of our guys and the activity with our hands. And I think that's something you have to do against them because, again, they have length, athleticism at a lot of positions. So if you're late to the play or if you're behind the play, the ball is going to be behind you. And the second the ball gets behind you against these guys, you're at their mercy because, again, they can shoot the ball really well. And then they're obviously long, athletic at the rim. So to be able to be in position, frustrate them a little bit, make them a little bit more isolation, one-on-one type of drivers and plug gaps. I thought our kids did a fantastic job of following that game plan.
Coach, I remember you were speaking the day that the OVC poll came out and SEMO was 7th. You said that they were overlooked. Talk about how that kind of fueled your team this year.
Yeah, I don't know that it fueled our team at all. Honestly, we talk about it for about 5 minutes and then it's over with because, again, I just think in this era, you don't quite know exactly what one team's going to have to the next with portal and everything else. So to me, it was more so the guys that came back, Rob, Braxton, TJ, David, BJ, what they went through and the development. And that's why you're a coach and that's why you're in it every single day. You see the potential in what those guys had. When we recruited them, what they had and the character. So to me, it was more so just to keep them fueled as like, look, this is what people who saw you play last year still think that you're not quite those guys just yet. And BJ, Rob, Stack should be a starter. And we've obviously added some new players, of course. But to me, it was more motivation for those guys that, hey, I think you guys are really good players. And I give them a ton of credit because they came back after a 9-22 season. But it's also the way that we coach them and the way that we talk to them. And you're seeing them have great success. Our system is good, but we also have really good players. And it's because they stuck it out. They persevered. And, again, you always try to find these little motivators to keep them going, and to me it was that, and to keep them focused on the biggest prize of team and winning.
Going back to that defense you were talking about, where you had Teddy on Lawson.
Yeah.
How do you have a 6'2" guy on a 6'7" guy? So what does Teddy mean to you guys to be able to guard someone 5 inches taller than him and shut him down for 3 for 9 from the field?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Teddy, he's our leading rebounder as well. So 6'2", 170 pounds soaking wet. But that's that old saying, too, you can't measure a guy's heart. And Teddy's got a big heart. He's determined. He's tough. He wants to win. He's had a heck of a season for us, his best in college, arguably. So Teddy's just an ultimate competitor. And the thing that Teddy does as well is he brings a lot of confidence to these other guys. And he's got a quiet confidence about him. But he puts in a lot of work. And the exact way he plays, it's exactly how he practices. So I probably let him get away with some stuff that I normally wouldn't, or I for sure wouldn't let a freshman get away with. But when you compete and you play that hard, I'll be your guy all day long, and I'll stand up for you. And I think he reciprocates that in the way that he plays.
This one's for Troy. You all asked earlier, but did it almost feel like a home game there with the Red Hawks fans right behind you?
Yeah, it definitely did. The fans coming out supporting us gave us a little boost, confidence, and appreciate that. And definitely gonna need that tomorrow, but that was huge.
Yeah, that was major. That was big time.
Rob, talk about you transferred in. You come from Indiana State. Last year you have success on the court individually, but you mentioned that the team does go 9-22. To be able to have that success this year, both as an individual player, but as a team, how does that feel?
It feels amazing. Coach just trusting me, believing in me, and just letting me go out there and make plays, mistakes, and if I get into it with them, we just know that we have that relationship to next play mentality. But it's my work that I put in the summer, just believing in myself, keeping God first, and that's the main thing, to be honest.
Anybody else?
Coach Korn, one more for you. You know, historically, this program has not been a title contender, but in the last couple of years, you're going for a second tournament championship in 3 years. Talk about the growth of this program in your tenure and how it's become more of a name brand in this conference.
To me, I look back at, especially on the drive over here, and what we did in 23 was kind of crazy. 4 games in 4 days, and just the amount of time and work that you put into it. But I don't think that we've wavered on the level and the character and the fabric of what our program was going to be from 2020 till now. You can make a lot of excuses in life, and everything I said in the press conference to where we are now as a program, we've lived out. And so I think when you have that North Star and you believe in yourself and you've got a great support system around you and good players, you find a way to respond. And we never made excuses for last year. It was what it was. We grew up. I grew up. I became better. You face yourself in the mirror every day, and you pick yourself up and you go. But you also believe. And I've been really, really fortunate, guys like Coach Weber, Chris Lowry, Paul Luss, guys that have hired me in the past, and who they are as coaches and men. So I can make a lot of excuses about 2020, didn't meet the team for 6 months. You find a way to make the conference tournament. The next year, you find a way to be the 4 seed with some of those supposed powers that were still in the league at that time. Then you follow it back with the NCAA tournament, 4 games in 4 days, which hasn't been done. So and then you go 9-22. So what are you? And then you have the year that we had this year. So very confident in what we are. I don't know what the word is, but I'm most proud when people tell me that they're proud of me and what these guys do. So it's never about me, it's about the players, but it is very, very rewarding when you can stay humble and true to yourself and have success on the other side. But you only do that with really good players, which we have, and a great staff, and a program and a system in place that allows for you to have that success.